A lot of work, I'm sure you can't tell, but a lot of work does go into our appearances on the pledge. The lovely makeup artist.
He's got to be
Take her everywhere.
The lovely makeup artists have made me look presentable. Don't know about the rest of them.
Beautiful,
Thanks
not
to,
presentable.
bless you, Carol. Thanks to an array of products and colours with ingenious names. Today I'm wearing Cool Honey, Subculture, Hug Me and Dark Horse. So far, so creative and harmless. But a recent eye palette on sale on the high street took its product names a lot further. Boots, which is where a lot of us started buying makeup when we were barely into our teens, has been selling a new obsession brand whose colours have names like Foreplay, Home Wrecker and MILF. It's now withdrawn the products after parents complained, but it's only one of a myriad of ways in which our children are being over-sexualised. A gaming app popular among young children was recently called out for showing them Lego-like figures having sex. When the private sector keeps pushing sex on our children, while the public sector dithers over whether meaningful sex education is acceptable, we're getting something very wrong.
OK.
I'm kind of expecting you to agree with me on this one, Carol.
I do in part of it, and I absolutely do in part of it. On the makeup thing, this palette of makeup, no, I don't think... I think what you talked about with the sexualisation of children is very important. However, I think on this makeup thing... when I found out the teenager involved who bought this makeup was 17 years old. Now, this is a girl. She can have sex. She can leave home. She can work. The names like you just read out, like MILF and what is it, sugar daddy, safe word,
Home
dealer.
wrecker.
They're not gonna corrupt her. And I think in terms
Should
of
17-year-olds aspire to be home wreckers?
no, but well, just because you put an eyeshadow on your face,
to someone because you buy eye
just because you
makeup?
put an eye
Makeup is inherently aspirational.
I think this was a cack-handed attempt.
Said by two experts
Yes,
that wear an
I
eyeshadow.
So I think this was a very cack-handed attempt by Boots to be down with the kids, to be cool. It didn't work, it backfired. The names are stupid. However, let me just read you some names of other products on the market, which, and by the way, only one mother made a fuss about this. There wasn't parents, there was one parent. Let me read you some of the other names of products that are on the market. I've got to be careful what I say here, because I could be in big trouble.
That explicit.
Sexy Mother Pucker. That's a lip gloss. A nail polish called I Like It On Top. A mascara called Bad Gal Bang. And a shower butter called Whipped Clean. Now, grown women in their 30s aren't going to use that and be corrupted. However, what I said before, on the more serious point of the sexualisation of children, I don't think this makeup is going to do it, because I don't think 12, 13-year-olds are going to buy it. However, I think, yes, girls are growing up in a culture where women are viewed as the sum of their parts. Their whole value is put on how sexy they are. And I think if girls are sexualised too early, it dampens their aspirations, and it also affects how boys view them and treat them. So that kind of sexualisation has stopped now. That's not as obvious. It's much more subtle now, the sexualisation. It's in advertising, it's in magazines.
It's even,
you look at the way a girl poses in a magazine, a young girl, in these kids' magazines, it's very provocative, it's very sexual.
Can I just read you what the mother in this case did say about the products and the reason that she complained about them? She said it's over-sexualising children and it's completely demeaning. It's makeup and it's there to make you feel better about yourself, but it's like it's saying you should be proud to be a home wrecker or a dealer. It sends out the wrong messages and it normalises these words for teens. And I agree with her. I think
How old were you when you first bought makeup?
Oh, 12 or 13.
How old were you when you first bought makeup?
Probably about the same.
And it would have been
17. The point that Carol made.
When
This
you
woman
start
is
buying makeup,
17.
it is
17.
shops like Boots. You're not going to Chanel or Bobbi Brown. You're going to the high street, to the chemist.
I better just play the role of Lord Chief Justice here and get some legal aspects out there, because we need to hear what Obsession have said, and here we are. Obsession is a new brand. While we were experimenting with our personality, we know we haven't always got things quite right, and some of our shade names need work. This is something we're addressing and fixing as a priority. We will not repeat these shades' names or genre of shade names in future. That's from Obsession. They made this palette. And then Boots also said, they've said it will be removed with immediate effect, and Boots admitted, we got it wrong, we promised to remove the product.
I'm just wondering, where the line is drawn and trying to understand. I imagine you're not supporting that these sorts of names be banned. You're just saying that you support the Mother's Campaign, or are you saying they should be banned?
Yeah, I mean, it's not about banning. I'm questioning why a company would want to market something that it knows that young teenagers are going to use.
Because it's words,
well, I don't know if
they, yeah, I don't know if
they
use words like milk.
Well, I don't know. I don't know Afua, if they thought it through in that way.
Well,
I thought they thought it was just being edgy and, like, you know, what marketing campaigns try and be.
That's the problem, you know, as long as companies always kind of go to whatever they think is edgy, you end up with these kind of ideas.
I'm just wondering how we navigate through this, because the reason I'm asking that is that... Well, sorry?
I said common sense will take you through this one again. Just get rid of the product.
In this day and age, the wider problem is that whether it's film, TV culture or the internet, that young teenage girls and boys are getting it from multiple sources. So actually, you're going to get rid of the makeup. It's still there in society, far more pervasive than just the fact that it's there. So that's why I'm trying to work out, what is it you're actually saying? Yeah. Is it that if I were that mother's husband, would I support her against, you know, making sure my daughter didn't buy that? I would. I would support that campaign and try and make sure my... But I'm not so sure, beyond supporting the campaign, what I would do if Boots, for example, and they haven't here, Superdrug, is it Boots? It's Boots. If they had refused, if they had said, no, actually, we stand by this product, what next?
I agree with Carol in the sense that this, for me, is one tangible example of a much bigger problem. And the other thing I was talking about was Roblox, which is this game that young kids really like playing, with these Lego-like characters. And it emerged that they've actually been simulating sex with these things. And that, you know, as a mother, we try and keep our kids away from gaming and apps, but, you know, they are digital natives. They gravitate towards this stuff.
That's why I'm asking the question.
And so, yes, for me, it's this wider question of what is becoming normal for kids to see and interact with.
As you've mentioned that, I need to, again, play the role of Lord Chief Justice here and get the legal aspect. We must hear from Tammy Baumick, who's Vice President of Marketing and Community Safety, at Roblox Corporation, says, quotes, all games on Roblox must comply with our rules of conduct. Our safety team reviews every uploaded image, video and audio file to make sure they are safe and age appropriate. We have created extensive parental controls for our games. I mean,
did that actually happen, Nick? Or did they deny it happened?
No, they admitted it. I think they these naked characters doing adult things.
Kent, as I recall, wasn't it? Yes, it was in
Gillingham.
In Gillingham and Kent. But, I mean, I have a degree of sympathy for companies such as these. Let's broaden it out to wider companies. Because if I'm manufacturing kitchen knives, I can't be held wholly responsible for what happens when people buy my product, can I?
You wouldn't call it...
No, I wouldn't call... No, I wouldn't. But coming to this particular game or other games that you talked of, I appreciate it, move away from the makeup. I can't necessarily be responsible for what people do. As long as I'm putting controls on my video game, I'm putting controls on whatever, I can't be held wholly responsible for everything.
I think companies need to be aware of who their target audience is and who their market is.
Why I'm being really hesitant, Afua, is because...
They use names that children use. They use names like MILF. They use...
Why I'm being really hesitant is because during the stabbing debate that happened recently because of the murder rate and we took over New York, a lot of people were asking to ban the drill music that originated in Chicago.
Yeah, I don't.
Right, no, but that's why I'm asking, because I came out against banning music.
Yeah,
I said, no, you can't ban this stuff, right? So at the end of the day, though, the same argument you just used, and you said these young girls aspire, which I don't agree with, they aspire to the name of their makeup. I think that's a bit of a leap. But the same argument was said about these young kids who aspire, it was said, to live out the lyrics in this music. I'm not so sure with creative names and art, it works in that way.
There's a difference to me. When you get a product like this with names, you've got somebody whose job it is to sit in a corporation and put names on products. It's different to music, which is a creative expression that often comes from the grassroots, that's expressing a culture that already exists. So, yes, obviously they can feed into each other, but for me the question is, why are we normalising sexualised concepts and words when young children are concerned? And it's not just this product, it's advertising, it's music videos, it's films, it's games, it's across the air. And, you know, I think that we need to rein it back, and that might involve some kind of regulation, but I also expect private companies to
Everything
exercise
comes
a bit
back
of
to regulation.
I just said I expect private companies...
Provocative, straight talking.